What do you know about diabetes and prediabetes? What are your risk factors? Do you know why it's important for you to know your risks? I'm clinical specialist Michael Detner. During this course, you'll not only learn the answers to these questions, but more importantly, you'll learn what you can do to lower your risk of developing diabetes and become a healthier person in the process. Now, before we dive in, it's important to note that this course is divided into 6 lessons, each one addressing different changes that you can start making today to delay or even completely prevent diabetes. So with that said, let's get started with Lesson 1. This lesson is an overview. In it, you'll learn some brief definitions of diabetes and prediabetes. You'll learn how widespread these conditions are, and finally, some good news about weight loss and exercise. So let's start with those brief definitions. Diabetes is a serious disease where your body can't use blood sugar, also known as glucose, normally. This results in dangerously high levels of blood sugar. Prediabetes, as the name suggests, means you have higher blood sugar than normal, but not quite high enough to have diabetes. Think of prediabetes as a warning that if you don't take action now, you are very likely on your way to full-on diabetes. Now that you have an idea of what these conditions are, let's talk some numbers and take a look at just how big of a problem diabetes and prediabetes are in the United States. See this iceberg? It represents almost half of all adults in the United States. The part of the iceberg that's above the water represents the adults who have diabetes. The part that's below the water represents the people who have prediabetes. Almost 90% of those people with prediabetes don't even know they have it. If you're one of the adults under the waterline at high risk for diabetes, there's good news. Diabetes can be delayed or even prevented completely. This course is based in part on a scientific research study that was conducted to learn if diabetes could be prevented. Now, all the people who participated in this study were overweight and had prediabetes. Some of the people were given a diabetes medication called metformin. Others were given some help to lose some weight and to increase their physical activity. Now, in the end, taking the medicine did help lower the risk for diabetes. Not terribly surprising. But the people not taking medication, the ones who lost some weight and increased their physical activity, dramatically lowered their risk for developing diabetes without taking a pill. So if you're one of the 86 million U.S. adults that has prediabetes, you might be saying, oh no, how much weight and how much physical activity are we talking here? You might be pleasantly surprised. People in the study aimed to lose and keep off only about 7% of their total body weight. So what does that mean for you? Well, let's take a look at some numbers. If you weigh somewhere between 175 and 215 pounds, it would mean losing between 9 and 22 pounds. If you're somewhere between 220 and 245, your goal would be to lose between 11 and 25 pounds. And a weight of 250 to 300 would mean aiming to lose somewhere between 12 and 30 pounds. By the way, losing this amount of weight can also do wonders for your blood pressure and your cholesterol. So that's the weight loss part. Now, what about the physical activity part? Well, the physical activity goal was to exercise for a total of 150 minutes per week. Now, for a lot of us, that means a half-hour walk 5 days a week, but it doesn't have to be so strict. There are lots of other options that we'll discuss when we get to Lesson 4 on physical activity. Throughout this course, you'll learn how making some fairly simple lifestyle changes can delay or prevent diabetes altogether. We'll also cover some other helpful topics, such as how to work with your doctor, the importance of sleep, and other strategies for success. Now, since diabetes can be prevented or delayed, finding out how likely you are to develop diabetes is one of the most important things that you can learn. So I recommend that you get started by taking a short pre-diabetes screening quiz that we've provided. In the next lesson, you'll be learning more about what's happening inside your body when you have diabetes or prediabetes. We'll also cover the importance of a good relationship with your doctor. I'm clinical specialist Michael Dettner, and I will see you in lesson 2.